What's up, y'all? This is Propel Hitting, and welcome to Drill of the Week. What's up, y'all? Another day for you to get better and for us to try and help you get there, which we are pumped about. Okay, so this week, gonna do some more upper half focus, okay? Really what we're trying to feel is natural separation. Okay, two quick things before we get started, okay? So I want you to make a transition in language, okay? So instead of saying load, I'm gonna challenge you to say gather. The reason I'm doing that is because load means so many different things to so many different people. You may not even know what you think it means, right? Because it's so variable, okay? And I want you to replace it with gather. Because really, essentially what we're trying to do is we are trying to create stretch in the right way, gather up force to release it on the ball so there's an explosion. That's the first thing. Second thing I want you to do is instead of feeling tightness, I want you to feel stretch, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example, and if you don't know exactly what the first example is, go look it up on TikTok or YouTube or something. Like, it's really easy, real basic, you've never done it, but it's a really good example, okay? So I want you, right, to move from thinking being tight to stretched, but our stretching being like a seatbelt, okay? So think about when you put a seatbelt on, right? And all that tightness that you have is just there, right? It's stretched across your body, and you're not having to do a bunch of things to make it tight, right? So that's the kind of tight that we want. The kind of tight that we don't want, that's the kind of stretch that we want, okay? Getting on myself, right? Making sure the language is right. That's the kind of stretch that we want, okay? What we don't want is the tightness and the give way of a tow rope. So essentially, if you have a car that has died, right, you can tow it with a rope. So like with a healthy car and a not healthy car, right? So you gotta have somebody in the dead car like that can drive, right? You don't have power steering, so you can't do this with the wheel. And the brakes are mostly locked. Now you can stop a little bit, right? But that's why it's very challenging to be the front car, okay? Because you gotta keep it tight, but if you pull it too tight, right, it pulls this car. If you get too much lax in it, right, the rope doesn't stay kind of tight, right, then the back car starts doing this, which is not what you want. It's a scary feeling, right? So when you're driving, you almost want to feel tight, but like you don't want to hit the gas, you don't want to hit the it's very scary if you're in the front car, healthy car, or the back car. We don't want our load, we don't want our gather to be like that. We want it to be very organic, and we want it to happen for us what it needs to happen with us, okay? So here's two huge examples, okay? I would say three. So Josh Donaldson, big mover, big stretch. Okay, Starling Marte, little movements, right? And he still loads. Okay, Ronald Acuna never does any kind of this. Holds the bat, steps away from it. All three of them feel gather. All three of them feel stretch. So what I am trying to get you to do is feel stretch with what works with your body and what your tightness needs to be, not getting to a specifically perfect place, okay? So only reason we're using this is because now, look, it's all the way up to where my hands could be, and it's touching the ground, and it's not gonna move. That's the only reason we're using this. There's no gimmick, there's no anything. It's literally just, hey, this can touch here, and go there, right? If you don't have a pipe, use a broom handle, right? Or something like that. That's long enough to just get it on the ground where you can hold it on the ground while you're doing other things, okay? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna get here, right? I'm gonna stride, and I'm gonna keep these square, right? So if the pitcher for me is like this, I'm turning this way so you can see, pitcher's mound is here, okay? I'm gonna try and keep these square, right? And I'm gonna let the seatbelt effect happen in a stretch and a gather, right? So I'm gonna get here, right? And these are gonna stay, and then I'm gonna I'm just holding this, right? And I'm feeling it get tight. Now I'm not going here, right? Just holding it, and I wanna feel seatbelt tight. I wanna feel seatbelt tight, okay? So you do not have to feel perfectly like a seatbelt. But what I want you to do is feel stretch from here down, not tightness and heaviness in the shoulders. Because if you do that, then all I'm doing is bowing up my shoulders. That's false That's false stretch. It's not real stretch. Okay, so now we're gonna practice it. Grab your tee, I'll grab mine, let's go. Okay, quick caveat before we start. You do not have to feel perfect seatbelt stretch right here. That is an analogy for you to use and to think about things differently. You do not have to do that perfectly. The only thing that I want you to do is feel like you're gathering force, right? And that you're stretching instead of tightening. Okay, that's all that you're trying to do. You're not trying to do that perfectly. You're just trying to feel I'm gathering and now I have stretch. That's it. Okay, so I'm not in here trying to go, all right, whatever, and I gotta feel something. So like I just said, right back here, like we just said, feel the stretch underneath your shoulders happen, right? So now all that stretch is happening and now I can take that straight to the ball, straight down the highway. Okay, so I'm getting up here, and that's all I'm trying to feel. I'm not trying to feel perfect. I have to be that. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to feel gather and stretch. So I can release and control the stretch to and through. Okay? I'm here. I'm feeling the gather underneath my shoulders. Okay? Feel the gather underneath your shoulders. Feel the stretch underneath your shoulders. Don't get false tight. Okay, that's all that we're trying to do. Not perfection, not trying to look like this, not trying to copycat. Don't copy and paste this. Hear the information, hear what I'm trying to say, and then you put it in your computer and you type it out. It's just like plagiarism, right? Don't copy and paste. Read it, learn it. You're smart enough, do it. And if you need help, ask. That's why we're here. That's what we're trying to do for you, okay? So, before you go, hit subscribe, because I know you like seeing this and I want you to see more. Comment, like, share this one so other people can get this stuff too. So, subscribe it up, because I really want to see you next week.